What can they do to help avoid these problems up front?
Look, there's really four judgeable criteria: credit, criminal background, previous evictions,
Mm,
and just to go through them real quick. Credit, if you look at someone's credit, you got to at least think they're going to pay the rent.
mm.
Look, you never know about the future, but if every bill they've ever had didn't pay, that's a problem. Now, again, that's not to say if they had a bad credit score, you can't make an exception. It really depends on what happens. If you saw for years they paid their bill, then there was a 6 month period where they didn't pay their bills, and after that they paid their bills, and you ask them what happened, you're like, oh, I got really sick then. Oh, that makes sense. That doesn't indicate that they're a bad pay. So you have to look at credit. One, criminal background. Look, everyone has to have different policies for criminal background, and you have to check your compliance regarding what you can and what you cannot turn someone down for. But murderers, rapists, child sex offenders,
Are you
the
allowed
one
to do that? Are you allowed to not rent to the sex offenders if they're on the Megan
I
law?
think you can. Other offenses maybe you can't discriminate against, but you have to. But the laws are set up to where, look, if someone there was a law that let's get the eviction first, and
Okay.
then we'll go into that a little bit. So anyway, there's also the people who are like habitually getting into trouble. Someone who's just a bad luck.
Right.
It's the Bronx tale, the mush. Someone who constantly is in the wrong place at the wrong. Look, you have to consider whether you want to rent these people. Not to say they don't deserve a place to live. They do deserve a place to live, but it doesn't have to be.
Right.
Income. This is the most important. If somebody cannot afford the place, they could be the nicest, sweetest, most wonderful person in the world. They're not going to be able to pay it. It's what it is. Last but not least is previous eviction. Look, a previous eviction should certainly give you cause and why a landlord took them to court. That's not to say it automatically means they're a bad tenant, but it should certainly give you pause. Now, there is a law in the books in Philadelphia where you cannot deny someone housing solely because they had an eviction during COVID.
Oh, interesting.
But what that means is if you have someone who has perfect credit and doesn't have a bad criminal background and makes 3 times rent and had an eviction during COVID, you can't deny them. But chances are you wouldn't deny that person
Right.